Welcome to Conversations. My name is Suresh Kochatal. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's cavalcade being held up on 5th January in Punjab has made news headlines for the last 48 hours. Analyst after analyst have been trying to piece together what really happened. There are a lot of conspiracy theories floating around, and even the Supreme Court has now got into the act. Let's start with the basics. On the 5th of Jan 2022 morning, Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed at Bathinda Airport, from where he was to go to the National Martyrs Memorial at Hussainiwala by helicopter. Due to rain and poor visibility, the Prime Minister waited for 20 minutes for the weather to clear out. Could this have been predicted earlier? Yes, because there was a weather report which said that the first week of January would see rains in Punjab. But would the Air Force have taken the risk of flying Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the Mi-17 helicopter, similar to the one that crashed at Coonoor, which led to the death of Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat and 13 others? No, they would not take a risk. So, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who had a clutch of programs, including the launch of a 42,000 crore projects, paid tributes at the Martyrs Memorial and addressed a meeting in the pole-bound Punjab. Due to bad weather, it was decided that Prime Minister Modi would visit the National Martyrs Memorial via road, which would take more than 2 to 2.5 hours. He would then proceed to travel by road after that, and a confirmation of necessary security arrangements by road was made by the DGP of Punjab Police. 30 kilometers away from the National Martyrs Memorial in Hussainiwala, when Prime Minister Modi reached a flyover, his convoy reached a flyover. It was found that the road was blocked by some protesters. The Prime Minister was stuck on this elevated expressway or flyover, as you would call it, for 15 to 20 minutes. This was a major lapse in the Prime Minister's security. Prime Minister Modi's travel plan was communicated well in advance to the Punjab government. As per the procedure, they have to make the necessary arrangements for logistics, security, as well as keeping a contingency plan ready. Due to the security lapse, the worst seen in recent years, the Punjab government and the Punjab police decided that Prime Minister Narendra Modi would head back to the Bathinda airport after consultations with the Special Protection Group, which provides close proximity protection to the Prime Minister. Of course, the Punjab government would deny any such thing had happened. Now let me cut across to the security and route arrangements in the districts of the 5th January Prime Minister's Rally Day, and a note by the Punjab Additional Director General of Police Law and Order, Naresh Arora. It was sent to 11 ADGP rank officers, apart from the supervisory officer on the Prime Minister's duty. The detailed internal note by the same ADGP also talks about the possibility of rain and seeking a road evacuation plan, which is a standard operating procedure when a VVIP travels, especially the Prime Minister or the President or the Vice President. If the helicopter does not take off, there is an evacuation by the road. Naturally, the Chani government in Punjab cannot claim that they did not know about Prime Minister's program and the backup plans that went along with it. There was also an internal memo by the Punjab Police top brass, and they had warned the Chief Minister's office and other senior police officials of the prediction of rain and sought an alternate route arrangement in advance for the Prime Minister. Did Chief Minister Chani ignore this to put the Prime Minister's life at risk, especially when he denied in a press conference later that he did not even know about all this? His note was sent to his CMO, and how come the Chief Minister did not know it? This correspondence was on 1st of January. The Prime Minister, as you know, arrived on the 5th of January. While it took the rainy weather into account, it said specifically, due to rain prediction on 5th of January, Honorable CM and other VIPs may also be moving in your area on road, especially in the Chandigarh to Firozpur sector. Please plan route arrangements in advance at your personal level, said this 1st January correspondence. The note predictably warned that the farmer agitation in the subject line, with a terse warning to the state administration and cops on duty for preparedness and contingency action. It was sent barely 24 hours before Modi ji visited Bathinda and Firozpur. The note raises questions, charges leveled by BJP against the Chani government in Punjab on endangering the Prime Minister's life by not keeping the routes sanitized from the cluster of protesters. The matter is pretty serious. The January 4th internal memo by Punjab Police to the Chief Minister's office and other top police officials clearly mentions that the protesters must be stopped from gathering near Prime Minister's site and alternate routes must be provided in case there is a dharna that may result in roadblocks. It said specifically, ask the senior police officials to brief the SSPs personally to assess the plans of the farmers and make arrangements that are necessary at a personal level. Remember, not just the Prime Minister, it was also the Chief Minister and other ministers who were also moving around on that day. And the Chief Minister said he didn't even know about all this. So is he running the state or he's running it in absentia? That's a question we need to ask. It's also not clear how the protesters reached the site, raising concerns among the administration as to who leaked the change in Modi ji's unscheduled road visit after the inclement weather, forced the Special Protection Group to take him on a convoy trip for the National Martyrs Memorial in Firozpur. Less than 2 weeks ago, a human bomber had reached Ludhiana court on December 23rd, triggering a blast inside the court, raising similar questions about the Punjab government's preparedness despite intelligence alerts. The January 4th note also had forewarned about such an incident and sought that any protesters or motivated political outfits must be stopped from reaching the venue. All this, mind you, have come from the Punjab police themselves. And the Chief Minister says they were surprised when the farmers, the so-called farmers, arrived at the site. The note also said, you are further directed to keep a watch on the movement of farmers and they should not be allowed to move in district of Firozpur on the day of the rally. Remember, a lot of buses and other vehicles which are proceeding to the venue of the Prime Minister's rally were stopped by the protesters. Some of them were smashed. And later on, the Congress leaders, of course, claimed that Modi ji's travel plan itself was not known to them. So how did the farmers, the so-called farmers, know about the travel plans when the state government did not know about it? This is the problem. It is not the question whether how many people were there at the venue. And as Chief Minister said, there were 70,000 chairs, only 700 bande paunche the wahan. Main kya karu? That's not the excuse of Chief Minister to make. As we saw later, the rally had a big crowd which was addressed by other leaders after the Prime Minister cancelled his journey. What raises very important questions right now is why did the Special Protection Group allow the convoy to be stopped for 20 minutes? And why did they take a U-turn and go back to the airport again? Those are questions that will come out in the inquiry that has to be followed now. But one thing is for sure, the Government of India needs to know exactly what happened. And there, the Supreme Court has got into the act today. And as we saw, they've asked for all the records, including the wireless records, to be preserved by the Director General of Police, Chandigarh Zone, and also the NIA to do similar arrangements. One thing is for sure, Prime Minister Modi is not the Prime Minister of any political party. He is the Prime Minister of India. It's not the person that is important. It's the position that is important. As we have seen, we have lost two Prime Ministers, one a serving Prime Minister and a former Prime Minister in assassination. And the third one, of course, we know all that Lal Bahadur Shastri died in Tashkent, which again, as was proved later, was a murder. We cannot afford to risk the Khalistani groups targeting our Prime Minister. And as we saw certain videos after the incident yesterday, they claim credit for it. Countries like Canada are encouraging these terrorists. It's time the Government of India, apart from the internal inquiry that is happening right now, which of course should have sacked some people, important police officers, to send a message down the line. More importantly, on an international level, India needs to push Canada to act against these terrorists, arrest them like Germany did and send them back to India. Otherwise, India, along with other countries, should put Canada in the terrorist supporting nations list like it does with Pakistan. Because what happened on January 5th is not an isolated incident. It can get repeated later. It's as I say, it is better to be safe than sorry. And surely, the Government of India, the Special Protection Group and the Ministry of Home Affairs needs to ensure that this kind of incident that happened on 5th of January is never ever repeated. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind.